Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. 2 months ago, I stood here before you and I gave you my vision for my high performance leadership project. And today, I will present the results. I will also discuss some of the lessons that I learned regarding leadership. But first, I want to just review what it was that project was all about. It involved the melee that happened right here down the street at Watka Community College on January 14th, Saturday morning. A melee. It's put on by the district, District 2. It stands for Membership, Education, and Leadership Expo. And its goal is to train club officers to be better Toastmasters Club officers. Now, my role was that I was the education chair. I was supposed to recruit Toastmasters who were experienced and able to share their knowledge. The first group that I wanted to recruit were for the general session workshops. Those are workshops that would be attended by all the officers, plus others in attendance. First thing I did was I went to the senior members of our district, those who I have seen give workshops like this before. I asked them if they would do it again. I went to Ann DeMarais, I went to Omar Rivas, I went to Jim Sultan. They all gave me the same answer. They would do it if I could not find anybody else. Well, they wanted me to find somebody new. They're tired of always doing it themselves. Okay, they wanted fresh faces. So the challenge of my project was kicked up a notch. I had to find Toastmasters who had never given such workshops previously. What did I do? Well, I'm in 2 clubs. This club, Bellingham Evening Toastmasters, and in the Advanced Club, the Northwest Advanced Toastmasters. And from this club, I recruited Patrick McGinty and Tiffany Holden. From the Advanced Club, I recruited Jim Jolly. For the 4th presenter, one of my fellow members of the Advanced Club recommended Marty McEwen. So I had my 4 presenters, and in the weeks leading up to the melee, I was bugging them constantly, just asking for status reports, wanting to make sure that their presentations were going to be consistent with the goals of the event. But I knew at the end it was going to be up to them to put on successful workshops. And I have to say that I thought that all 4 of them succeeded magnificently. We had 4 fine workshops. Now, there were also what we call officer breakout sessions. This is where the officers could find out information about their particular officer role. The Vice President of Education has different responsibilities from the Treasurer, who has different responsibilities from the Sergeant at Arms. The general workshops were supposed to be applicable to everybody, but to get specific information, what we did was we set up 7 tables right outside of the auditorium, 1 for each officer role, and we had them staffed, 2 at each table, by people who were experienced in that particular officer role. Now, I have to admit that I was not able to get all the roles filled until the very day of the event. However, the level of experience amongst the 14 what we called officer table captains, was just beyond my wildest expectations. I don't know if you realize this, but 3 of them were past district directors. Additionally, 5 of them were past or current area directors. There were at least 4 of them who were distinguished Toastmasters. We had club presidents, we had area speech contest winners. We just had an amazing group. So that part of the event also went off very successfully. Well, what did I learn? I was not doing this all alone. I was working with a committee. I was the education chair. Well, like Leah was the public relations chair. We had a facilities chair, a hospitalities chair. Rebecca Murray was the overall event chair. But in the end, we did not stick with our individual roles, with our individual functions. Everybody went outside. Everybody helped one another. It was a cooperative enterprise. As I already told you, I got help recruiting one of the speakers. I also got help recruiting some of the table captains. And I was also helping out others do their work. For example, I put up the sign that was outside. I helped Leah put together the agenda. I was the one who got the timing light. And if anybody of you were there, you probably know that the timing light looked quite a bit like that one over there. And there's a reason for that. So we all work together. When you are doing an event where there's so many people who put it on, and I'm not just talking about the people on the committee, I'm talking about the people presenting, the people volunteering, the people who are helping with the registration, and so on. One person cannot control whether this is going to be a successful event or not. You always have to trust that internal critic. Now, you all know that each one of you are your own most severe critics. The evaluators at Toastmasters are very nice to you. You're very harsh on yourselves. So you have to trust that at the end of the day, you know, you feel that you have done a good job. There will always be things that you will look back on that says, maybe I should have done this, or maybe I could have done that. I should have told Patrick that he was going to be timed twice. Once for his regular presentation and once for the question and answer. But he didn't realize that. He thought he went 5 minutes over. He was actually 5 minutes short. That was my fault. There's always going to be something like that. He still did a magnificent job with his presentation. So trust that internal critic that you have. Trust your internal report card. I believe overall, I felt happy with the results of the project, with how I did, with my own efforts. And I hope that everybody here who attended felt that your time was well spent and that the event went successfully. Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster, New York.